Audio Jungle.
He is not only speaker, he is the director of Sri Datta Group of Institutions, Engineering College ki. Now that kind of person, he is with us. సో ఆ సార్ ద్వారా ఎంతో మంది విద్యార్థులు ఈరోజు చాలా వాళ్ళ లైఫ్లో ఒక బీటెక్ కంప్లీట్ చేసుకొని ఎంతో మందికి ఈరోజు వాళ్ళు కూడా లైఫ్ ఇస్తున్నారు. సో ఆ సార్ చేతుల మీదుగా ఎంతో మంది స్టూడెంట్స్ వాళ్ళ ఎడ్యుకేషన్, వాళ్ళ గ్రాడ్యుయేషన్స్ ఇవన్నీ కూడా కంప్లీట్ చేసుకొని ఇది ఒక మంచి హయ్యర్ పొజిషన్లో ఉన్నారు. ఈరోజు ఒక లెక్చరర్స్ ఒక క్లాస్ రూమే, కానీ ఒక పేరెంట్స్ ఒక ఇద్దరు పిల్లలు. బట్ ఆ ఏజ్కి, ఆ పర్సనాలిటీకి ఈరోజు ఎంతో ల్యాక్స్ ఆఫ్ స్టూడెంట్స్కి ఈరోజు అతను అడ్రస్ చేశాడు ఎన్నో ఎడ్యుకేషన్స్ ద్వారా. సో దట్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ పర్సన్ హీ ఈస్ విత్ అస్. నౌ ఐడ్ లైక్ టు ఇన్వైట్ విత్ స్టాండింగ్ ఓవేషన్ శ్రీ దత్త గ్రూప్ ఆఫ్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్స్ కి డైరెక్టర్ మిస్టర్ సమీర్ ఖాన్ సార్ ఆన్ టు ది స్టేజ్ విత్ ఎ హ్యూజ్ రౌండ్ ఆఫ్ అప్లాస్.
A very good afternoon to everybody. Yeah, that's the noise of young generation. Dignitaries of the dais and my beloved and privileged friend Venu Kalyan Garu. He has given me very short time to speak. Actually, I had decided to speak about 20 minutes. He told me to finish off within 5 minutes. So let me see whether I can finish off in 5 minutes. So the title or the theme of this event is basically empowering of youth. I would just like to talk a small set of words about empowering the youth. I see so many young friends here and it's giving a lot of energy and vibration, positive vibration to me. So I just like to start with a small proverb which is attributed basically to a scientist called Confucius, that says, give a man a fish and you have fed him for 1 day. Teach a man to fish and you have fed him for the lifetime. I think empowering youth basically means skilling the youth. And today, skilling or empowering the youth has become a buzzword because the entire governments of all the states and the central government is behind skilling of youth. I just start with a small, narration. There is a Indo-American scientist by name Rakesh Jain. He was supposed to receive a national medal from Barack Obama, that is the president of USA, for breakthrough technology in delivering medicine, nanomedicine and molecular medicine to tumors or solid tumors. There is a person by name Praveen Chaudhary that brought optical disc. There is a person by name Rangaswamy that brought LASIK surgery. These are all Indian-born scientists which are in America and they have brought breakthrough advances in technology. These people were educated in India. Their early education was in India. Their graduation was in India. But they went to US and they performed wonders there. My question to the audience here is, why people in India who are educated in India do not perform such wonders here? Why after going to USA they have breakthrough advances in technology? So I just want to focus your mind in that direction. I think you understood what I said. Why Indians going abroad, that is to US, perform better than the counterparts in India? Why only Google is there in America? Why Apple is there in only America? Why Oracle is there only in America? Why not in India? The reason is we have to go back to 60s and 70s. See, basically, we have come to a conclusion that in India, the schools and the colleges are experimentally dry. Our students are fed only with theoretical aspects, not with practical aspects. Even in the homes also, when a parent brings a brand new television or a computer system, you instruct your children not to touch that. Because you feel that if your children experiment with that particular gadget, it may spoil off. and you are only asked to see that. So we basically do not allow our children to experiment and explore. And what happens in inter colleges or schools is that our students are only rewarded for their memory. They are rewarded only for what kind of reproducing memory they have, not for the skill they possess. That is the basic reason where our students are failing. For example, in junior degree colleges, students are made to mug up the questions and answers. If suppose a different question comes in the examination, they are unable to answer it. So they are more theoretical oriented. They are made to master the textbooks, but they are not made to, develop their skills or experiment. That is where India is behind. So what is required today is that schools and colleges should more focus on practicals rather than theory. Like Modi ji said just few days back that we have 80% theory and 20% practicals in schools and colleges. Now we need to flip that. We need to have 20% of theory and 80% of practicals. Then only skilling is possible. Today all industries are looking for life skills. Industries are looking for transferable skills. Industries are looking for non-cognitive skills. Now I don't know whether you are having knowledge about what is life skill. Life skill basically are needed for getting most out of your life. Usually life skills are associated with living and managing a better quality of life. For example, any skill that is useful for your life is called a life skill. For example, tying the lace of your boots also is a skill. Operating a computer also is a skill. Swimming also is a skill. So any skill which is useful for life is called a life skill. For example, when you are a student, you require study skills. When you are going for a job, you require employability skills. When you are doing job, you require leadership skills and presentation skills. When you are buying a house, you require negotiation skills. When you are married, you require organizing skills. You require time management skills. And in every day of your life, you require stress management, you require conflict resolution, you require problem solving skills. So these are called life skills. And today, industry is talking about that. So what we require today is to come out of the textbooks, develop skills, and India should start respecting people with skills. Like for example, in matrimonial.com website you see, we give advertisement that require a bridegroom with MBA, require a bridegroom with MS in USA. So we are behind entitlements. We are behind degrees. Have you find any advertisement where it says required a carpenter, require a plumber as a bridegroom? No. Why? Why? Because India doesn't respect skilled people. We only respect the entitlements. We respect only the degrees. That's why India is behind in skills. My dear friends, India is at the edge of demographic dividend advantage. I don't know whether you can understand this big word called demographic dividend. I'll explain you in simple words. If in your house you have 10 members and out of 10 members only 1 member is earning and 9 are dependent, what will be the economy of that house? Will it be very poor or will it be very rich? It will be poor. But if you are 9 members earning and 1 is dependent, or 6 earning and 4 dependent, how will be the economy? Rich economy. So India has got that potential now. You know that 65% of our population is between the age group of 14 years and 65 years, which is earning member group. And remaining 35% is the age group above 65 and below 14. That means India is the youngest nation today. If our youth are skilled, then India can become the super economy of the world. And if they are not skilled, then India will be a very dangerous country to live, because unempowered youth can become criminals, they can go astray, they can go in wrong directions. So I congratulate Venu Kalyan Garu for having such a theme and topic for this event. And I hope that all these students in front of me will turn out to be skilled people, and they will serve the nation as a lawyer, as an engineer, as a doctor, as a carpenter, as an artist, as a plumber, as a skilled person. So I'll conclude my speech with a proverb from Nelson Mandela. He said that little bit of mind and little bit of hurt will solve all the problems of the world. So wish you a very happy day and thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.